So this beat I made in January, and I was in a train station, an underground like tube in Amsterdam, and the main feelings I had at the time, like I just had my laptop out, I was just playing about waiting on the train, and I was with my friends, and it was just like it was a cold breeze because it was just passing winter, and you know the train station, you're abroad, and I feel like this beat I'll get onto, it brings a more European vibe. Like that's how I see it, and that's what I wanted. So it starts off with a sample from Splice again, from the SLS pack. It has really good samples, really good. So if we just listen to this. So I just wanted to single out the piano from the full-on sample, and I used BandLab Splitter to do that, and that was fairly simple. The only techniques, no, the only technical side I used was some compression, quite a lot of compression to be quite a lot of compression, and then some saturation to make it more grungy. And that really gives it that European vibe I was after. And then the bass comes in around bar 9. And it's just a simple. No, this isn't the bass. The lead comes in around bar 9. Really simple leads. There's some reverb on that. I use a de-esser because I wanted to take that. No matter what I'd done with the attack, there was still a massive hit, and it was just like there's a tiny bit I didn't like, and de-esser was the only thing that got rid of it. Because if I used too much in the EQ, it just took that whole feeling away, I feel. And then I used big room reverb, not too much at the start. It does go up to more wet sounding reverb, and then a lot of drive on the saturation because I wanted this part to be like very, very rough. And then we've got sidechain from the kick. It's kind of the go-to. But there's more in this area. You know, we've got the bass. I wanted to have like an arcade sounding bass. Like a Super Mario. That's what I was going after, and I had to change the shape of it, as you can see here. And it adds more force to it. And then the EQ, I took away most of the bottom end, which makes not much sense as bass, but I didn't want it to be a really low down bass because it just defeats the whole purpose of the intro in my eyes. Because I'm wanting people to ease into it, you know. And then I've got the bass low extender, and that was mainly to boost this, you know, the low into low mid, and then got sidechain compression from the kick as well. And then all the drums are just from different packs on Splice. And then I'll let you hear this. So we'll go to. So now the whole sample's in. And that contains a bass guitar, but I didn't really want it to be that. And it has the vocals, it has bells, it has everything, and I feel like it really gave me that. Like, if I was walking about, which I was in Amsterdam, this was the type of song I'd want to listen to. And then when I was watching Sir Spyro's interviews from recently, or around Modern, like 2019, he says that random percussion's like really important. So I included gunshot samples around here. And as you can probably hear, it is a lot higher. I took away all the low frequencies to remove all the mud from it. compressor bit off it, and then reverb just for backbone. I feel like that complemented the sample a lot. But I didn't have much reverb on it. It was only 15%, because I didn't want to like overboard it. After all, it is percussion, and that's really important when it comes to drums. And so if we listen to this part as a whole. So what else we've got here? We've got the hi-hats. Did not do much to the hi-hats. I feel like if you put it too high, and Sir Spyro, he says he never ever used EQ on hi-hats. Never. So I just put DS on it. I could have used any compression, to be honest, but DS had just done the job. Is this the click? So with the rim shot, added nothing to it. Absolutely nothing. That it just didn't take anything away, it just added more. And then what's this? So with the secondary snare that I briefly used, it sounds more like a rim shot, but it's not. I used the delay, the 4th bandpass, and as you can hear here, it does play a big effect. Hold on. It's like knocking in a way, and that's what I wanted. You know, it's like it's very simple to do. And then with this is rims, a lot of rim shots. All I added was EQ and then a drums room reverb, mainly just so it's. I wanted to add more, really. You know, there was a few empty parts, this really complemented it. And then with the kicks, don't think I did anything. Oh yeah, an EQ. So took the fully bottom range out, because when I added it, it sounded too UK, like grime scene or drill, rather than me trying to meld it with the European feel. And I feel like that taking away that was a massive play. And with all the side chaining and that, it's really not that massive. So when we get to the outro, because it's just the same thing over and over, with that lead in the beginning and the bass, and then so with this lead at the end, I looked into more of like the music scene in the Netherlands, and like in the 70s, the clavinet was massive in the Netherlands, and just watching how they play a lot of notes. So that's what I wanted to do here. I really wanted to capture that. And then on the cadence, it was mainly just using automation to cancel out all the delay, the reverb, just so it's a quick cadence. I didn't want it to be a complete one. But that's how I made this beat. Pretty bog standard. Big inspiration from Sir Spyro on the drums.